Hey you, glad to see you again. Come on in and sit down. I've got more information to share with you that you need to hear. On one of a few occasions that we've spoken, I addressed a little bit about witchcraft and deception. Well, today I have a few more details to expand your knowledge. Are you ready? You see, when it comes to witchcraft, there are so many things that could be linked to it. And just to refresh your memory on a few from our last discussion, I mentioned sage, jewelry, and crystals. Now, to go further into depth, there are a few more things that I'd like to add that are unacceptable or detestable in the sight of God. First and foremost, I'd like to read a scripture from Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verses 9 through 12, and it reads as follows. When you come into the land that the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not learn to follow the abominable practices of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone who burns his son or his daughter as an offering, anyone who practices divination, or tells fortunes or interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or a charmer or a medium, or a necromancer or one who inquires of the dead. For whoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord your God is driving them out before you. You see, we as believers are not to associate with anyone who practices in such acts and works of those named in the scripture just read. Doing such evil deeds or falling down that dark path only leads to serious consequences. 1 Chronicles chapter 10 verses 13 through 14 is a clear and prime example. In Leviticus chapter 19 verse 21, it reads, "Do not turn to mediums or necromancers. Do not seek them out and so make yourselves unclean by them. I am the Lord your God." Now, I'd say the scripture is self-explanatory, but I'll give you a little feedback. God clearly tells us that it is absolutely not okay to participate in witchcraft. And participating or partaking rebelliously is as if you were telling God, the creator of all things, that you don't need him or that you don't trust him, that you'd rather seek help elsewhere, in such places where only darkness and evil dwell. Before I go, I thought I should bring to the light that if Satan cannot deceive you directly, he will certainly try his best to work through someone or something else to do so. Mediums, witches, warlocks, and so on are not workers of light or for the Lord. They are specifically workers of the dark, of the demonic, of Satan, whether they know it or not. So I say to you, my fellow believers, please be aware, and please be careful. Much love from this way. Be blessed, my friends. Be blessed.